Hi everyone, I'm Jesse Kroll. Welcome to Tommy Media's The Locker Room. Fourth-ranked St. Thomas hosts St. Olaf Saturday in a regular season finale that has major playoff implications for both squads. The Tommies clinched the MIAC Conference with a 21-7 win last Saturday over Concordia Moorhead. St. Olaf upset Bethel 24-17 last Saturday and is tied for the second in the MIAC Conference. I'm joined today by Coach Glenn Caruso and redshirt senior center Curtis James. Thanks for joining us, guys.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Coach, you clinched your third straight MIAC title last Saturday. This next game plays major implications on seedings for the NCAA tournament.
Right.
How important is it to keep your guys focused, and how hard is it to keep your guys focused?
I'll go in reverse order. It's not hard at all because of the first thing you alluded to, and that's because there is so much on the line. So the word clinched is like a swear word in our dictionary because really, I mean, it shouldn't mean anything. When we sat down at the beginning of the year, we didn't say, hey, let's win a MIAC championship by being 9-1. Our goal was to be undefeated, as it has been for the last several years, and we've been able to accomplish that. There are a lot of implications. Certainly, playoffs and home playoff advantage that we've been able to have home field advantage for 3-4 games throughout. In the last couple of years, that's important, and that's big. But also the seedings, that's very important. Also, this is the first opportunity. If we're successful, it would be the first team in the history of the MIAC that went undefeated for 3 consecutive years. And you think about all the teams, all the great, St. John's teams and all the great Concordia teams and Gustavus teams and national champions and all that, and we would be able to do something that no one's ever done. So I think that's pretty important. But the most important thing is every week we want to play our best. And if we play our best, I feel comfortable. We want to win every game. That's it.
Curtis, St. Olaf only has 10 sacks in the year. Your offense line has been dominating the trenches. How important is it to control the line of scrimmage Saturday?
I'd say it's extremely important. When we look at any team and we go into any week, we like to evaluate, okay, where are they versus where are we? What do we need to really focus on when we go into this week? And I think one of our key aspects that we want to go into this week focusing on is how do we redistribute that line? How do we reestablish where that is? And, how do we, protect our quarterback, give Matt some time to make some plays? And how do we get our young running backs and Brett and Braddock and Jack Kaiser the ball and give them some holes so that they can do their thing?
Coach, Ole quarterback Dad Dobson is leading the conference in passing yards and completion percentage. How are you going to stop this passing attack, and what are you going to do?
Well, he's impressive. That team has some really nice athletes on it led by him. I think he does a great job athletically just getting the ball. He has all the throws you need in his toolbox, and he's very dynamic that way. So he's tough to completely. You're not going to shut him down. He's too good. What we have to do is we have to make sure that hopefully we're able to do a good job as we have done with stopping their run game. They're still going to get some yards, but we've got to make them work for them. And then if we can get them into maybe a little bit longer third down situations where the pass game is a little bit more predictable, then Coach K and the defensive coaches will feel a little bit better about the pressure packages. But it's not different than any other game plan necessarily, just understanding that their trigger man is pretty impressive. And he's got some pretty neat guys to throw the ball to as well.
Curtis, St. Thomas has 3 ushers over 300 yards this season. And every game you guys have over 100 yards a game. How important is it the rushing game this Saturday?
I would say it's fairly important, but I mean, we want to come out and do what we always do, which is just have a balanced attack both through the air and on the ground. And, we've been blessed this week to starting to slowly get some of those guys that we had injured back. They're starting to take more reps and get, especially on the O-line and receiving core, and, some of our running backs are starting to get back. And I think as a team, we're really starting to get healthy. And so I don't think we're overemphasizing how do we go out and run the ball or, even any week, or do we go out and emphasize how are we going to throw the ball. We just want to go out and do us and be able to play our game and be that balanced attack. And at the end of the day, hopefully be better than the other team.
All right. And now it's time for this week's fan question. Curtis, sophomore Brittany Wheelock wants to know, how do regular season games compare to playoff games?
I think, when you approach any game, you approach it in the same manner. I don't like to differentiate, all right, what's a season game, what's a playoff game? It's just one game at a time. What is this Saturday? And so, for any instance for us, we know it's do or die as far as implications for playoffs in the regular season, implications for MIAC championships within the season, but then you get, in the postseason, it's the same thing. It's go or win or go home, and so we just go out and do the best that we can do and hope for a W at the end.
All right. If you have a question, tweet it to @TommyMedia. Be sure to check TommyMedia.com for the latest campus news. Thanks for tuning in. With Coach Glenn Caruso and Curtis James, I'm Jesse Kroll. We'll see you next time in The Locker Room.